Hey everybody, welcome to episode 14 of the Galactic Window Space Podcast. My name is Nick. I'm known as the Orbital Alliance. And no. He's muted.
Let's try that again.
Yeah, let's try
Tan, also known as Chasing the Milk.
There we go.
Nice. Heck yeah.
Oh man. It happens to the best of us, Tan.
Thanks, man.
You're in a safe space, the unmuted among us. But hey, everybody, what's going on? It's great to have you all here in the chat, in the lobby, on the live stream of this podcast tonight. This is going to be a fun time that Tan and I are going to have together. Tan, how are you doing? What's new?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling great, actually.
Great. I used to have a coach in college who used to tell us the story how he knew another coach who would never let his athletes say I'm good. So he'd be like, when an athlete would walk in, he'd be like, Timmy, how are you? And he was like, before they could even say good, he would yell great at them. He wouldn't even give them a chance to say anything else because great was the only option. So I think great's the only option.
I'm great.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So you got it down.
I am. I'm feeling good, man. I'm excited about this one. Episode 14, man. I feel like I say this every time we do one of these shows, but it's every week, so the numbers are climbing. It's climbing a lot faster than I thought it would,
Right? I mean, we're going to be hitting some bigger milestones here soon. I feel like 15 is a pretty big milestone. That feels like big boy numbers.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing. But yeah, I totally agree with you. And things are getting extra real when you bust out the sick Hawaiian shirts.
Dude, I'm trying to convince myself that summer isn't over. Labor Day didn't already pass.
Bro, I hear you, man.
Milky Way season is coming to an end.
That's a depressing thought to think about, that Milky Way season's already over. It feels like it literally just started. Doesn't it?
Can we get a moment of silence for the Milky Way core?
Yeah. Yeah. What is it? F's in the chat. I don't know. Is that the right thing to say?
Yes. Can we
pour one out for Milky Way season?
Yeah. It is. It's bittersweet because I chasing the milk. I love the Milky Way, but it just means that the summer skies are lowering and lowering below the horizon, and we're welcoming a whole different set of constellations. The famous Orion, which everyone loves and I love. And actually, a quick story. I saw Orion last night. I went to bed before midnight for the first time ever, and that caused me to actually wake up at around 5 in the morning. But I got up for water. I stepped outside, and I looked up, and I said, oh, my God, that's Orion. And there's Taurus. Oh, my God, there's Gemini. And it's like, you kind of get your gears started, going again. I'm like, okay, now I can kind of figure out what's in the sky. So pretty exciting.
Yeah, dude, that's wild. I mean, the night sky is cool in that sense that there are these seasonal constellations, and you can see them come and go. And those iconic ones like Orion, it's like winter's knocking on the door now. And I've had some early mornings in years past where I can see it coming around just like you did, and I'm always like, I don't know how I feel about this because I gotta let go of the fun summer and make way for the chill of winter. But yeah, I mean, Orion is just it's a loaded constellation. There's so much to look at and in it and to experience, even just with the naked eye. It's a really cool thing. So I don't know. Maybe it's better to be hopeful than to be distraught.
Yeah. What does the chat think? I see a lot of our friends in here. Get to see everyone. Let me know what you guys think of Orion. Yeah, Kayla, Blue Eyed, homie Anthony Thompson, super early. Susan here. Mason. Someone said Father Milk. I don't know how I feel about that. Tamina's in here. Awesome. Cool. Well, thank you so much for being here, guys.
Yes.
Maybe we can get started. Nick, you want to tell everyone what we're going to be talking about today? What's the topic?
Yeah, let's do it. So tonight, we, of course, don't have a guest like we have been having in more recent episodes. This is just me and Tan tonight. We're not going to be bringing anyone in.
It's just us.
It's just us. Yeah, you guys are stuck with us.
Yeah.
But we are going to have a kind of a more chill conversation, which is going to be really fun. But we're going to talk a lot about our Perseid trips, like the meteor shower trips that we took in August, because both Tan and I traveled during that time when the Perseid Meteor Shower peaked. So we're gonna discuss our experiences, share some details. I don't know, maybe we could do some pictures if we have some capacity. If you have any, I might have one or two that might be worth sharing. But yeah, so we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna do something a little bit different tonight. And this is the part I think you guys are gonna want to hang on for. So stick around for the ride, because we're actually gonna do a game on the show tonight. This is the first time we've ever done a game. We're gonna give it a whirl. Shot
This is
in
the
dark.
beta. Yeah.
This most definitely is the beta, and it's something that we're really excited to give a shot. I think adding an extra dose of fun will be a good time tonight. And then lastly, we're gonna talk a little bit more about the kind of philosophical and heart sides of meteor showers. What do they mean to us as people? It's like looking through our galactic windows a little bit tonight, and that's gonna be the discussion. So I'm pretty stoked for it.
Yep. So guys, grab a drink or two, grab some snacks, and we hope you enjoy the show and enjoy our first attempt at this game. We're live, so whatever happens, I mean, we're just gonna roll with it.
Yep. Yeah. There's literally no there's no expectation, but we're just gonna. The only expectation is to have fun, I think. But who knows?
Yep.
Yeah. Great. So again, thank you everyone for being here. Appreciate your support by watching the stream tonight and continuing to enjoy the Galactic Windows Space podcast. We're grateful for all of you. Cool. So let's launch right into it, dude. Why don't you tell us your Perseid, your Perseid Meteor Shower trip? Like, what did you do? We did get a chance to sort of preview it in a past episode, but kind of get us up to speed and tell us your experience. How did it go?
Okay, let's wait for the rainbows to disappear here.
We got the color bars of doom.
Man, this is the longest it's ever done this.
Did you hit the record button? Did it?
I did.
Ooh, interesting.
Maybe. Okay, hang on.
Tech issues. All right. We're just troubleshooting Tan's camera. Hopefully we'll get his beautiful mug back in here in a second. But in the meantime, chat, what's going on? I say some funny comments in there. This is pretty great.
So
Tony just lost the game. I love that.
and
now
cross your fingers.
subsequently, the rest of us have now lost the game. And
We're
his
back.
face is back. There you are. Nice.
All right. Hopefully, that was weird. Whoa. I saw an error code I've never seen before. So.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Is this your camera protesting that we're doing a game?
Yes. All right, so let's jump in. The Perseid Meteor Shower peaks on the night of the 12th, going into the morning of the 13th. But generally, one of the greatest shows of the entire year, in my opinion, happens around the 11th and 12th. And even on the 13th, I would recommend watching. But I was out in Northern California, one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen. And I say this about everywhere I go to, but as someone who doesn't get to go out that way often, it was truly an experience. So I hung out in this area in southern Humboldt County, and it's like way up Northern California, just below Oregon. And I was gifted with these basically Bortle 1, really good Bortle 2 skies.
Ooh,
And what that means for you listeners is a Bortle scale is just how we measure the skies in terms of darkness. So if you live in a city like St. Louis or Chicago, if you're in the heart of the city, you're probably like a Bortle 9, 8 or 9, or just up there. Suburbs, you're probably maybe like 5 or 6. And then if you live out in the middle of nowhere, that's the lower the number. So I was gifted these really dark skies, and I hosted my first astronomy retreat. So it was a nice little way to get away from the world and also share it with other people who also want to get away from the world. So, man, I remember days leading up to the Perseid event. This is kind of like every astronomer's fear, is that we're kind of just looking at the forecast on our phone and just hoping that we have clear skies, right? Anytime there's an eclipse or just something cool going on in a few days, you're just staring at your phone and just hoping to the universe that you can get some clear skies. And it was looking pretty bad, man. It was looking kind of hazy, and I'm just thinking,
Oh no.
oh my gosh, this is actually the worst possible case, is to travel all the way from Missouri to Northern California, and everyone else to travel here just to get met up with clouds.
Mhm.
But spoiler alert, it was the greatest time ever. The
Yeah, it
clouds, yeah, the clouds kind of cleared up, and it was extremely dark. It was clear, and for those of you guys who are listening who have never watched a meteor shower, specifically the Perseids, they are known for just really, really bright green meteors. Like, these are beautiful. A lot of them are really slow, so you can really lay down and look up and just kind of take your time to observe them and see them come from all over the sky here. But it was cool, man. It was I was in a really cool area. The whole site is kind of like a retreat. So there's like a hot tub there. There's a sauna on top of the mountains. There's even a temple there, a swimming pool. So I had the luxury of being completely remote, right? I mean, there's no signal. You're out in the middle of nowhere, but at the same time, it's quiet, and it's the only time I feel like I can truly get away from the noise. You know, even when I try to like meditate or get away from the noise, I'll hear like my neighbor's dog barking, or I'll hear some cars. But when I was up there, it was just nothing but me, nature, and the oohs and ahs whenever a meteor would fly by.
Ooh.
So, it was a really cool time, and one of the highlights, I think, was the first night. I remember live streaming this, and people were in the chat saying, "Yo, I think there's like borealis. There's aurora going on." And I'm thinking, like, there's no way. Like, I couldn't see it at the time. I couldn't see it with my naked eye, but I remember pointing my camera north, which is also kind of like where Perseus is, like where the meteors are coming from. And I remember snapping a photo and looking in the back of the screen and just seeing this huge, like, pink region of the sky. And I'm just thinking, this has got to be the most perfect thing for the universe to give me. A awesome meteor shower during some really clear and dark skies. And on top of that, we have the borealis, which I can see from Northern California.
Yeah.
You know?
That's a wombo combo.
Yeah, exactly. So to kind of wrap it up, it was an incredible experience, and I don't know, it's something that I'm not gonna forget anytime soon, man. So that was my experience, and I know you did some really, really gnarly stuff too. So let's transition over that, and you can let us know what you did.
Yeah, dude. Well, I mean, first, I do want to just talk more about your experience a little bit before we move on too quickly. But I as you described it, I was just feeling everything you're feeling. That remoteness and the silence, getting a chance to experience a celestial event, but then like getting that bonus event is just, that's wild. That's just absolutely crazy. And I'm so glad you had that chance. And I know like the balance of like weather and being a little bit feisty, you know, is always a little bit of a toss up. It's like sometimes you feel like you travel and you bring the Midwest weather with you.
Yeah, it follows you around.
Right. But yeah, man, like that's cool. Like what was it like being with those people, other people experiencing it? Like, did they have things to say about it too?
Yeah, it was cool, man. I think it was just, whenever you're watching a meteor shower, there's like, the only thing you're really doing is just kind of laying there and looking up. So there's not like groups of people just kind of like on their phones, and you're kind of just in the moment, and collectively you guys are in the moment. And I think one of the coolest things is to be able to hear people's reactions and hear like how excited they get whenever you see something. So there's those collectives, oh, yo, or oh, did you see that? And it's basically just that all night. And again, if you guys have never watched a meteor shower, I highly recommend it. It is just one of those things where after I discovered they were a thing, I don't think I could ever go without watching them. You know, I always try to plan events around them. Mm-hmm. But it was a beautiful thing, man. It was a special thing to share with other people.
Yeah. Yeah, the yos and the O's. That's like got to be a new phenomenon.
It's hard not to get excited, especially whenever you have like fireballs, or just really big meteors. And sometimes these leave like huge streaks of like dust in the sky. So even after you see the meteor disintegrate, it'll leave a trail, and sometimes they just linger there. And it's such a cool thing to see that you just normally can't see during the day, and even at night, unless you're standing there for hours. You know, you're not going to see one unless you're watching during a meteor shower.
Did you have like a rough estimate about how many per hour that you were able to see?
Whew. I remember keeping track, and eventually I was like, this is just so insane. Let's just enjoy it. Because I felt like it was more stressful to try to keep track because it was just happening so fast. I'm like, screw it. Like, who cares? It's known, you know, the Perseids are known to produce like, I think 80 to 100 plus per hour, given ideal conditions. But I don't know, man. I felt like that's probably right. Maybe a little more.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
We we went full color.
It's all right.
That's all right. Yeah, we'll keep it going. Yeah, dude. I mean, it's like, I think it gets exhausting to keep up with the counting sometimes. Sometimes it's a fun game, but like when you get that high into the numbers, it's like, no, let's just enjoy this.
Yeah, exactly.
Were there any like huge fireball moments that you were like raging about?
So I didn't really see a great fireball where it would just light up the entire sky, but there were several moments where I was just like, I can't believe we all saw that. And specifically, there's this one moment that I remember. We were all hanging out in the hot tub, and we were trying to take like a selfie. So I had a camera behind us, so you could see the Milky Way, and then you could see us hanging out in the hot tub. And the timer on the camera, it was a 10-second timer. And at the last second, whenever like that moment where you have to kind of just stand still, right when it got to the countdown, there's just this huge meteor streaking across the sky, and we all saw it, and it was such a beautiful moment because it kind of reminded me of doing the countdowns on my live streams, you know. So we caught one like from 10 seconds, right when it got to 1, the camera snapped a photo, and then of course there's this huge meteor, and you can see just us hanging out in the hot tub. So it was cool.
So like it snapped, and like as soon as the shutter was done exposing, it was like then it happened.
Yeah,
Of
yeah.
course.
I checked immediately, and it was awesome.
Oh man, that's crazy.
It was cool. I gotta try this camera thing one more time.
Yeah, do it. I'm gonna say hey to the chat, everybody, real quick.
Yeah,
I see Oliver Dodge in here. What's happening? What's going on, man? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in the stream. We're mid conversation about the Perseid Meteor Shower. Hope all is well in Florida. There's a comment here I want to feature in just a little bit when Tan comes back. But for those of you who are just tuning in, thanks for joining us. It's a conversation about the Perseid's meteor shower between Tan and myself tonight. We're in the midst of it. Tan just shared his experience of traveling to California, and I'm about to share my experience here shortly. But don't forget that later, or like I said, at any point here, we can be a little bit loosey-goosey with tonight's stream. If you guys have questions, particularly about space and astronomy, or even just about us, we're kind of the talent for the night, you know. So like feel free to drop those in the chat, and we will see if we can answer them to the best of our ability. And as always, keep it clean, keep it respectful. We'll do our best to get to those that we can. But yes, Tan's face is back.
Let's try again.
And dude, I think you got to see this one. And I know exactly how this is going to go, what you're going to say. But Orion is okay. It's only 3 stars.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Where's the we got
for a second I thought it was Daniel saying that.
Oh no.
he's a big Orion hater.
Oh right, Daniel
Yeah.
Zaliro. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's true. He is.
Yeah, for you listeners, Zaliro is another astronomy creator, and he just he likes bagging on Orion. And for those of you guys that don't know, Orion it's known for a fun beginner target for a reason, and it's just because it completely dominates the southeastern skies. It's so easy to spot, and you know, there's this really cool region right under Orion's belt, known as the Orion Nebula. It's a stellar nursery. It's a really pinkish, gassy region that you can see really well with some optics, like a telescope or binoculars. And it's a fun target. It's something that most astronomers will recommend to beginners when they're entering the hobby. So, don't hate on Orion.
No
Right?
hate.
Yes, we love Orion.
Did you have any other thoughts about your trip that you wanted to share?
Oh yeah, here, check this out. So Eric is my second, my sidekick. He was helping me out. There was a fire down the road from the tree day of arriving.
Oh.
Yeah. So on top of just like clouds, we're like, dude, this could be dangerous. Like we might not even be able to drive up there.
Oh yeah,
Because where we're located is just miles away from civilization. So it's just in the middle of nowhere, and this fire definitely would have made the experience not so much of an experience. So
Can't
we looked
experience
out.
it if you're dead.
Yeah, yeah, we got very lucky.
Man. Well, yeah, I'm glad that it didn't cause any disruptions. And I mean, did the smoke play any factor for you, or is it just the threat of the fire itself?
We got lucky, man. The fire was immediately put out, and I was thinking of like the lingering smoke. But sometimes astronomy is just one of those things where it could work in your favor and give you the best show, or it could do the complete opposite. And this is one of those cases where it just everything shaped out to be literally perfect. So
Yeah. Well, that's
got
good.
lucky there. Yep.
Now you're gonna have to find a way to top that for next year, if that's
That's
even
gonna
possible.
be tough.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard to top what you were doing for the Perseids as well, man. I want to hear about that.
Yeah, so I went up to northern Manitoba, Canada, with Justin with High Hopes Aurora, who was a guest on, I believe it was episode 3 of the Galactic Window Space Podcast. So if you guys want to go back and watch that one, it was fantastic because Justin is an expert in Northern Lights photography, and he lives in southern Manitoba. So because of the podcast episode last year, I believe it was in October or November. November. It was November. We connected about it, and he's like, dude, you should come up and see some Northern Lights. And I was like, of course, I've never seen them. I would love to. And you can show me how to find them, how to see them, what to look for. And he's like, yeah, you'll get basically a guaranteed show if you come up with me, because we'll go up north and it'll be great. So we booked a trip for August this year. So it was like a couple months after we met. So like maybe like February of this year, we're like, let's plan a trip for further out. What if we lined up an Aurora Borealis, a Northern Lights trip with the Perseid Meteor Shower? It'd be so cool to get images of Aurora with meteors burning through them, like, and to just be able to watch that would be so cool. So we planned the trip for a weekend. It was technically right before the peak of the Perseids, so I didn't quite get it on the peak day, but I think we saw a fair few meteors on the nights we went out ahead of it. So the peak was on a Monday, right? I think it was like a Monday night. And I was in northern Manitoba Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night. So it was like right before it. So I think we saw some meteors, and it was like, it's still fun, but I definitely don't think it was like the stellar show that it probably was the night before or after that. So that was a little bit of a bummer. We didn't see as many, but we did see meteors. So we had 3 nights where we went out to see Aurora. The first night we got clouded out, which was a bummer. The second night we had a small show of Northern Lights, which was great. Just some ribbons that kind of crept up from the north and kind of like curled up to us, which was so much fun. And then the third night we also had wildfire threats, not too far from us, but it wasn't so much that they were going to come to us. It was the smoke filling the sky. So, and that was from all over Canada too. It was already a threat, but what was perfect blue skies became gray skies very quickly. And clouds then moved in a little bit, and we're like, man, our last night here, there's potential for a coronal mass ejection, which is a CME, which is a solar storm like coming in. And we were watching the radar, and Justin, who's keen on all those like graphs and charts, was watching it like a hawk, thinking, we're going to have a great show tonight if this CME hits, like while we're out doing photos. But the freaking smoke like kept coming through, and we're like, this is just not going to work out. Our last night here is going to be a bust. But then it was about 11:30 p.m. We were watching the Olympics, just hanging out, and we're like, well, we're probably not going anywhere. he gets up and goes, "We need to go." I'm like, "What?" And he's like,
It's time.
he said, "Pants on, we need to go," which apparently is his phrase with his community for it's time to get out, put your pants on, we need to go. Like the show was going to happen. So he's like, "Yeah, I'm looking at the charts, and the energy in the aurora is like dipping, which means it's charging, I guess, and then it's about to discharge and it's going to peak." So he's like, "We need to go." So we grabbed our camera gear, drove a little bit a ways from the cabin we were staying at, and mind you, we are like way up there. We're north of like the 55th degree. Like it's almost guaranteed aurora most nights of the week. So we get out there. Sure enough, it was a little bit smoky, but as we got there, the smoke was like moving out. It literally got blown away. We had great skies. It looked fantastic. And then the aurora we could see coming in, and we had a really beautiful show. A little bit of that CME came through, and it gave us this beautiful corona ahead. We got to see all these like colors and ribbons like just going over us, blue south of us. And then we're like, okay, that was really beautiful. Like, what a great show. Like, we dodged a bullet. And then it came back. It came back from the south. And it, like, went back over us again and gave us an even better show. So we kind of got, like, a rubber band moment of aurora. And all while we're out there, we're seeing meteors here and there. It's kind of, yeah, the yos and the O's were happening for sure. There were a lot of yos and O's. And we were like, there's one, but we all seemed to keep missing them. Every time we saw one, like somebody would see it over here and we'd all be looking over here. But it was still cool.
Hard real quick, was it hard to see with the northern lights overhead? Like, did they obstruct some of the views, you think?
Maybe some of the faint ones we maybe would have missed. I don't think the sky gets too opaque. I mean, it does kind of look hazy and cloudy, but every meteor that I saw was pretty clear. I didn't feel like there was any interference with that. And to kind of show that, I do have some pictures. I'm gonna see if this works here. So I'm gonna throw up a picture here for everybody. I might need to switch over to a different screen. Let's see what we can do.
Do it.
Here we go. All right, can you guys all see this on your live streams? This is a picture of aurora that I took. This is basically looking straight up, but you can see a little bit to the bottom and left of center. There's a line, and then up to the right, in the right corner, there's a squiggly line. And I'm going to try and see if these zoomed in pictures. Yeah, can you see this? Yep. The quality didn't turn out too good when I was screen capping this. I kind of uploaded it with a low-res version. This is one of the Perseids going right through some aurora, so the green glow. And you can see the stars behind it and everything. And here's the other one. Look at this one. It's all squiggly and curvy. So, like, this one must have blown through the image right before I took it. And like you were describing earlier, Tan, I think this is the remnant. This is like the wind and the not the wind, but like the atmosphere, like distorting that the meteor streak. Couldn't think of the word there for a second. So it was kind of neat. So let me go back to the full screen one. So I got two meteors, two Perseids in one image, which I thought was super lucky. I think I got one other shot that had a Perseid in it. So, we're not always like firing images. So most of the time when we did see a meteor, it was like right before we would take a shot, or we're looking in the other direction,
That's beautiful, dude.
Thank you very much.
Look at those colors.
Yeah, it was wild. Like a lot of pinks, a lot of greens, occasionally some purples. Let me bring out our cameras here and throw up our background. Nice. Yeah, so that was kind of it. Like we had a good time, and it was a lot of driving. I drove up there. It took me like 20 hours just to get to Canada. Oof. and then it was
20 hours, bro.
Yeah. And then it was another 7 hours to go from where I arrived, like where I met Justin, and then we went like another 7 hours north. So we were pretty far up there. We were down the road from the town of Thompson, and apparently Thompson is where the road ends. Like paved roads stop there. So like if you want to go any further north, you either are going off road or gravel roads, or you have to take a train. So the next town or next city, I guess not really a city, it's a town, Churchill, which is like up in the Hudson Bay. It's a 16-hour train ride to get from Thompson there. Like that's how big Manitoba is. Blew my mind. So that was the furthest north I've ever been in my life, like by a long shot. Like before it was like the UP of Michigan. And that was like, that's not even that far north. So, it was a good time. It was a real good time. And just getting to meet Justin was super cool. Like, as we know, like getting to meet people from internet land is always a good time. Like, especially when you guys share in a hobby, like just like we've met some of our friends and Justin, really good time.
Yeah, dude, that's such a crazy thing. Like meeting people, like through TikTok or social media. I just feel like maybe 5 to, I don't know, 6, 7 years ago, that just probably would have, like, for me at least, unheard of. I just, I don't know. It just seems like not that it would be a weird thing, but it just definitely wasn't common. And I also,
Sure.
I've never used like the dating app, so like, just meeting people online was just something that was foreign to me. And fast forward, we've met, and then just like you got to meet up with Justin and so many others. It's what a time, man! What a cool time to be here.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in a house where it was very, very strict and protected for like who you're interacting with on the internet, and there was a lot of moments where that I can remember where it's like, you absolutely can't do that. Like when online gaming, like video games, became much more mainstream. So you're talking like mid 2000s, like 2005, 2006, and thereafter. Like there was a window there where I was absolutely 100% not allowed to play games online because my parents were like, you don't know who you're gaming with. You don't want them to like find out where you are. Oh, rightfully so. And of course, it was not but like 2 years later that I was gaming online, and it was like, okay, it's fine. Like, it's a lot safer than we thought it was. And that landscape has changed, of course, over the course of the last decade and a half to where here we are on like TikTok and YouTube, and we're meeting people. Like you said, like it was a couple of years ago, it didn't feel like that was possible. And now it's like so mainstream, and much more accepted. And obviously you still got to play things safe, but like, the opportunities to meet really cool people, I think sometimes it's like you never would have that chance unless you were online,
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't know who you are at all. Like, what are the odds that you and I would have met had we not had TikTok?
Yeah, think about it's like walking to someone completely random, like, "Hey, man, do you want to start a podcast together? Maybe one day in the future."
Right? Yeah, it's like, who are you?
Yeah.
Get lost, bro.
Wild.
It's cool. It's a cool and powerful tool for sure.
Yep.
Man.
Well, that's cool, man. What a crazy trip. That's awesome, man. I'm glad we both got to share an awesome experience, and also feel free to let me know in the chat if you guys also watched, the meteor shower as well. And again, I'm just gonna say it one last time. If you guys are listening and you have never watched the meteor shower before, here is your sign to go watch. We have plenty of annual meteor showers going on. You can just go on Google or go to timeanddate.com and just type in like meteor showers dates, and then you'll get plenty of lists of when they're happening, when the peak night is, meaning when the night that it's most active, and it'll even show you where you need to look. So all the tools are right there at your fingertips. There should be no reason to not go out and watch one.
Agreed. Chat, let us know. Have you seen a meteor shower? And if so, what was maybe your favorite moment from it? Like, let us know, and we'd love to hear about that. So I think, what do you think, Tan? It's time to shift gears into a slightly more fun zone here.
Is it time?
I think it's time.
Oh, guys, it's time. Everyone stand up, stretch. It's time.
It's time. All right, here we go. Cue the music. Welcome, everybody, to our very first game here on the Galactic Windows Space podcast. This is Lightspeed. This is a game we're going to be playing with each other and hopefully in subsequent episodes with our guests. So we're kind of trying it out here, or test driving it, taking a test for a test spin, whatever language you want to use. But this is sort of a this and that game. What we're going to do is Tan and I are going to pose a bunch of questions to each other, and we're going to try to answer them as quickly as possible. So, for instance, let's use an example. I might say, Tan, Pepsi or Coke? And Tan might say,
Coke.
Exactly. That's all he's got to do. Now, if he's not familiar with either of the ideas, like for instance, maybe he's never had Pepsi or Coke and he has no stake in the game, just pick one. Like, I like Pepsi because it starts with the letter P. That might be a good enough reason to choose one or the other. The goal is not to get hung up on one or the other, and to also keep things moving as quickly as possible. So, without further ado, are you ready to jump into a game of Lightspeed?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go, dude. You want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
You go first, man.
Like me, like.
You asked the questions. Let me
Ask the
mentally
questions?
prepare myself for this.
Okay. Okay. Here we go. Do some jumping jacks. Lift some weights. Get ready. Here we go.
Let's do it.
Slurp it up. All right, here we go, Tan. First question. The sun or the moon?
Moon.
Telescope or binoculars?
Telescope.
Telescope or night vision camera?
Telescope.
Ooh, sticking your
I
guns.
think-
Yeah. Clear skies or cloudy skies?
Clear skies.
iPhone or Android?
iPhone, for sure.
Ooh, yes.
Android sucks.
Yeah. Shots fired. Vacation or staycation?
Vacation.
Physical books or audiobooks?
Physical.
Christmas or Halloween?
Christmas.
Ooh, good answer. Good answer. Shoes or sandals?
Shoes.
Shoes. Oh, you keep things closed in. I like it. The Milky Way galaxy or the Andromeda galaxy?
Milky Way galaxy.
Okay. Salt or pepper?
Pepper.
All right. Spam or bologna?
Spam.
I knew that. I knew the answer to that one. I did.
Bologna's good.
Bologna is good, but spam takes cake, right? Mac or PC?
PC.
Good answer. Good answer. And let's slap it up here for you. Hot weather or cold weather?
Cold weather.
Cold weather. Bundle it up. Nice, dude. Well done. And it looks
Good
like
questions.
Thanks, man. Good answers. Oh, I love it.
Yeah. Dude, I don't think my camera can handle all this awesomeness that's happening tonight.
It can't. It was like you went so fast that it gave up.
It's a light speed problem. Yeah, for those of you guys that are listening that aren't seeing this, my camera just keeps on shutting off, and it's actually never done it this much ever. So, not really sure what's going on, but we're just gonna roll with it.
Yeah.
Let me try. Let me try fixing it one more time,
Okay.
real quick.
Yeah, no worries. Chat, let us know, what do you think of Lightspeed so far? We're going to do one more round. Tan is going to grill me with questions. So let us know. Were some of those answers that Tan gave, were they up to snuff? Did you agree with them? Like that iPhone Android one. I mean, he seemed pretty opinionated there. So what do you guys think? iPhone or Android? Let us know in the chat. Also, Milky Way or Andromeda Galaxy? What would you pick? Let us know in the chat. PC with a working video card. Yeah. Shots fired from Stephanie. Here, let's put up that up in the chat here. Oh my gosh. And Tan's back. Nice.
PC with the working video card. I don't know what's going on.
All right, dude.
But
well, welcome back.
Are you ready?
Oh, dude, I'm ready to lay it on me, man. Lay it on me.
I like it. I like it a lot, says Blue Eyed. All right.
All right. Here we go.
So here we go. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Netflix or YouTube?
YouTube all day.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
Boxers or briefs?
Briefs, yo.
Nice. Gordita or Crunchwrap Supreme?
Ooh, Gordita, because the cheesy Gordita crunch.
Ooh, okay. Sprite or Sierra Mist?
Ooh, Sprite.
Chinese or Mexican food?
Mexican food.
Pancakes or waffles?
Pancakes.
Okay. Read minds or be invisible?
Invisible.
Nice. Game night or movie night?
Game night.
Cooking at home or dining out?
Dining out all day.
Okay, nice.
Yep.
Orion Nebula or the Andromeda Galaxy?
Ooh, I'm gonna go Andromeda. Yep.
Whoa! Shit. Okay. All right. Time travel or space travel?
Oh my gosh, that was the toughest one. I can hang up. I'm gonna say space travel. Yeah, space travel.
Okay.
Yep.
Crocs or sandals?
Ooh, Crocs. I don't own either, but that's okay. Crocs.
Okay. Blonde or brunette?
Oh God. Brunette, because why not?
Chicken thigh or breast?
Ooh, thigh. I like dark meat.
Ah. Right after a brunette with dark meat. Got it. Chicken wing flats or drummies?
Wait, what? Say that again.
like the flats or the drum. Yeah.
Got it. Drums.
Okay. YouTube or TikTok?
YouTube.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
And last one, live without music or live without movies?
Ooh, I'll live without music.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah,
Very nice.
dude. Oh, so good.
What is
that is Lightspeed, everybody. What'd you think?
Yeah. What do you think of our trial run?
That was so much fun, dude. You had really good questions. I feel like I let you down. I feel like I had boring ones.
No, it was good.
There was one I forgot I wanted to ask you, and I feel like I'm just gonna drop it to you right now as a bonus. Can I ask you a bonus one?
Yeah.
And I know the answer, but ramen or pho?
Pho.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I feel like I had to answer that one. I know
Tough.
you're all about
tough.
the pho.
Yeah. Let's see. We got some other people here who are answering the questions. I love it. Flats. I don't know what it is, but the flats, that part. Every time I go to Wingstop, I'll ask for flats only. There's just a certain part in the drummies that I don't like. It's like that weird little cluster.
The tendon.
Yeah, that kind of freaks me out. And I used to just only eat everywhere around that part. So I'm like, I'll just get flats instead because I can just.
Yeah, just slip that up. You know, it's funny. I've never heard of it as a flat. I'm like, that's why it confused me. I'm like, a what? Yeah, I think it's wings or thighs. I think it was maybe like the way I always think about it. But
well, the whole I guess both of them make up the wing.
Yeah, right.
Flat.
Either way,
what do you guys think?
They're both delicious. Oh, yeah, that was great. Oh, nice. That's good feedback.
That's all we need. We just need one person to say it was good.
Yeah, that's enough endorsement for us.
Yeah. Yeah. So the idea is just to kind of throw these in there randomly, especially whenever we have other guests. I think it would just be a fun way, just for all of us to get to know the guests a little bit, and then also a little bit of us too.
Yeah,
Team Flats.
It's that's different than Team Flat Earth, though, right?
Ah. She's gonna stir up the pot here.
Yeah.
Watch out.
I feel like now we can't eat flats because that would mean we're like subscribing to Flat Earth theory, or flat wing theory.
We gotta be very careful.
Right.
Chris has a nice icebreaker. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm still smiling so much because how fun that was.
The dark meat, bro. I had no idea you were into that dark meat.
Oh my gosh, I'm freaking losing it.
I've just learned so much about Nick in just these last 5 minutes.
We went hard, didn't we? Jeez. Oh my gosh. That's the whole point though, right? Like, was to just get wild and crazy with it.
Mm-hmm.
But no joke though. Like, I was always like, this is a dead serious topic now. I am all about the dark meat on like turkey and chicken and stuff. Like,
it's juicier.
Yeah, it has better flavor and it is juicier. And I like know people who are like adamantly against it. They're like all about the white meat, which is fine. But like, I mean, if you give me a preference, like I'm always the one at Thanksgiving that's eating the turkey leg. Like everyone else wants all the other like white meat.
The dried up. Oh, you can have it, man.
Right. Right. For real.
That's all.
Like I want to look like a complete caveman and gnaw on the giant drumstick. That's like,
yeah. Let me ask you this. Because this was kind of like growing up, I think white meat was kind of like, for me, it was like the only thing that I would want to eat because it felt more like it was just white meat. Like I wouldn't expect anything weird that came along with it, right? I'm just expecting just white meat and that's it. But as I got older, I realized how much better dark meat is. And I think just dark meat looking dark kind of made me afraid of it. I'm like, oh, that looks weird. It's not white meat.
Right.
But I don't know, man. If you guys are listening, dark meat is the way to go.
Yeah, sound off in the chat if are you a dark meat or a white meat fan?
Yeah.
Of like turkey or chicken.
Yeah, man.
Dude, okay, here's a hot take. I need a hot take. We're so far off the rails. I'm committing to it at this point.
Let's keep going.
Turkey and chicken. Do you enjoy the skin of the bird? Like, do you like it's after it's cooked? Do you enjoy eating the skin?
For both of them?
Yeah.
Yes, I especially on chicken, especially if it's fried. Absolutely. The only time I don't like the chicken skin is that whenever it's just cooked and it's kind of like rubbery, or just kind of like some of the like the really soggy parts with like the bumps all over it. The part kind of freaks me out. But for like Thanksgiving, I'm all about the skin, man. I gotta have some skin action on there. Yeah. Wait, what are we talking about?
I don't know. It's just like, oh my god, this
Tan
is
like turkey flats. What about you? Skin
Oh
or
my
no
God.
skin?
shirts or skins.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm freaking losing it. Oh my god. Oh yeah, I know. I freaking love the skin, man. I really do. I can't get enough of it. Like it was always a thing that, like growing up, like my dad was like cooking like the turkey or something. He would always he'd call me over. He's like, dude, here you go. And he'd like a dog,
straight
he'd, like,
skin.
hand it to me. Yeah, this big like chunk, and it would be hot, fresh out of the oven. So good. And I like it when it's like not like dry, if I hyperventilating. I like it when it's not like super crispy and dried out. I do like it like a little bit of that golden like flakiness to it, but also like soft. Chicken is fantastic. So if I get like a rotisserie chicken, like I'm always the one eating the chicken when I'm trying to like pull the meat apart, because I know no one else in my family wants it. So I'm like,
Oh, lucky.
I'm all about it. Yeah, I know, right?
Damn, bro.
Yeah,
All skin, no meat. Dude, just while we're already on this topic, I used to live out in Washington, D.C., and one of my favorite places to eat was Popeye's chicken.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, I was just a little kid. I was, dude, I might have been like 6 or 7 years old. Just a teeny tiny little yellow blob, right? And don't laugh.
What did this game do to us?
I don't know. I like it though. I like where we're going. But we would always eat Popeye's chicken. So I got exposed to how awesome Popeye's is really early. But at the time, I didn't like the meat, so I would actually just only eat the skin, like the fried skin. And just thinking about it now, it's just making my mouth water, man. Just fried, spicy chicken skin.
Mm-hmm.
So good, dude. So good.
Oh, dude, Popeyes is great. It's definitely the best chicken chain by far. Like,
Yep.
It was our go-to. Like, we like never went to KFC or anything like that. It was
KFC's ass, bro. Honestly, I don't care if they're watching this, if the CEO is watching this. It's like Popeye's number one. Number two is Church's. Number three would be Lee's. And then I don't think KFC deserves to even be on the leaderboard. KFC's straight ass.
Dude, freaking like these are the hottest takes. I'm just gonna make a whole list of chicken questions next time that we
Yeah,
we do,
dude. We should just do a whole podcast where we eat fried chicken, dark meat only.
Dark
talk
meat
about-
only.
What do you guys think? I'm getting very hungry with all this food talk.
Yes.
I know we gotta wrap it up.
Oh my, yeah, we do. Oh, this has been fantastic though. Oh my gosh. Oh god, goodness. Yeah,
Chicken's good.
so good, man. It's so good. I feel like don't get me started though on the chicken sandwich craze that's been going on right now. And it's kind of an invitation to start talking about it if you're up
I'm
for
down.
it. But yeah, okay. Everybody these days, within like the last 3 or 4 years, has to have a crispy chicken sandwich. Do they not? Like there's everybody's threatened by it, especially since Chick-fil-A became like super popular. And that's like this thing that I've noticed the landscape of chicken sandwiches. Everyone, like McDonald's, Wendy's, Popeyes, everyone's got to have a chicken sandwich. And it's like, is it the best? But I'm gonna take my claim here. Popeyes has the best chicken sandwich, guaranteed. Culver's, I see Harmony saying Culver's in there too. Yeah, they got a chicken sandwich. If you're in Chicago, Portillo's has a chicken sandwich now. Oh my gosh! But I think Popeyes is the best chicken sandwich. Have you ever had their chicken sandwich?
Yeah, so do you remember? I think it was last year. It was whenever Popeyes first introduced the chicken sandwiches. Like the world went crazy.
They did.
Yeah, everyone was like lining up, including me, like hours just waiting for a chicken sandwich. Dude, this is sad, but like I think someone actually like died. Like someone got in a fight. Yeah, I think someone cut in line and like seriously just for this chicken sandwich, and I think they got stabbed, which is crazy, dude.
No,
but
they
like,
didn't.
dude, I promise. Someone fact check me, but like, I mean, Popeye's chicken sandwich is pretty dang good.
Yeah.
But I will say, I think Chick-fil-A was probably for me the OG. And I'm not claiming that Chick-fil-A is like the pioneer of the chicken sandwiches, but I just don't ever remember anyone making chicken sandwiches like Chick-fil-A. And then after that, after they became a thing, everyone started like all chicken sandwiches from what I can remember before Chick-fil-A were just like flat patties, like a McChicken, right?
Yeah, right.
Just a very, or even the crispy chicken was just a patty, but it was crispy. And then Chick-fil-A came out and was like, here's a whole ass chicken that's like bigger than the bun, and it's like, dude, it broke. Yeah, just the craziest thing. And then Popeyes was like, you know what? Maybe we should try this. And then it was insane, bro. I remember waiting in line for, I think it was like 40 minutes because it was at the peak of the height where they're like being sold out everywhere. And I was already in line, so I'm like, I'm gonna do it. But I remember waiting in line and just even recording like a Snapchat showing everyone how crazy this is. But I remember trying the chicken sandwich. It's so simple, just a little bit of sauce, some pickles, bread, and I just remember taking a bite into this beautiful, heavenly, just an overload of Popeyes secret herbs and spices, and I might have been the happiest man that day.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Oh man.
I could use one right now.
I know. I can't stop thinking about it. Someone, yeah, Kayla said someone stabbed in Maryland. That's wild.
Oh my god. Yeah, over a chicken sandwich.
Yeah, that's
I will say though,
pretty intense.
I don't know, man. It was pretty good. I might have. Never mind.
You're just like pulling yourself off the highway here.
Intrusive thoughts.
Yeah. Yes. Well, I think I know what we're getting for lunch tomorrow. We would be making a grand mistake if we don't have a chicken sandwich. But anyway, should we get back on the rails? Let's do it.
Oh yeah, yes, of course. We're in the middle of a space podcast, right? Right.
The galactic drive-through window is gonna be still gonna be a thing. Yeah. I brought that. I made that joke when we had Sarah Matthews on, and I was so proud of it. I was like, because we were talking about doing like a food episode with her, and I was like, dude, galactic drive-through window.
What episode was that?
2 episodes ago, right? So
12.
12? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, listeners, check out episode 12 if you haven't. In fact, if you haven't watched any of our previous episodes, I highly recommend you guys start on if you have some time, or maybe if you just want to listen to it on your way to work or while you're cooking. If you like what you're listening to now, you'll probably like the other ones. And I promise there's less chicken talk, but it's still as entertaining.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Sweet, dude. Well, I know we wanted to shift gears and talk about meteor showers, but a little bit more, less experiential, a little more philosophically. And kind of, you had something in mind that you wanted to make sure you hit tonight, which was encouraging people to experience it for themselves and like how they can do that. Do you want to take it away?
Sure. I'm going to try my best to like convey all the feelings that that go on inside my head whenever I think of meteor showers, because it's more than a meteor shower for me. And as a listener, unless you've watched one, it's really hard. And in fact, this message might not even get across, but I am just going to try my best. The message is pretty simple. I want everyone to go and watch a meteor shower. And a lot of you guys, I'd say the majority, I think people will hear this and then they'll just continue on with their lives, or they'll just, watch my meteor shower streams because it's easier for them. But truly, meteor showers are one of like the coolest things to witness. And I say this pretty often, but I always put them up there with major holidays. So think of a holiday that you really like, whether it's 4th of July or Christmas, Halloween. If meteor showers are up there with me. And that means on that day, I will not make plans to go do something because I have one thing in mind, and that's just going to be to lay outside either alone or with some friends, have some drinks and snacks, have my camera rolling, and my only job is to look up and watch these bright streaks of light in the sky. So just a quick little story of how I even got into meteor showers. I fell in love with astronomy during the pandemic. So 2020, that's when we're going back to. And I remember watching my first meteor shower. I don't remember which one it was or what month, but I remember seeing a really nice meteor in the sky, right? Just a huge ball of light streaking across the sky, and it left a little trail. And it was the coolest thing I've ever seen, because this isn't like watching a movie or watching like an amusement park where you can kind of just keep on doing it over and over. It is something that just sporadically and randomly happens, and you have to be looking or else you won't see it. So that part right there is, for me, is extremely enticing, because there's a little bit of work you have to do. You can't just go outside, look up for 5 minutes and say, "Oh, I didn't see anything, so this is not worth watching." You got to sit your butt down, lay down, get comfy, and let your eyes acclimate to the dark, right? It takes us a little bit time for your eyes to adjust. But whenever you are in that flow state, your phone's off, there aren't any lights near you to distract you, and you are just gazing at the cosmos, and you see these fireworks in the sky. It is, again, it's hard for me to try to convey this, but just trust me, it is one of the coolest things that you can witness. And here's the best part, guys. Admission is free. You don't have to pay a single cent to go out and watch this. Maybe you can fill up your tank of gas if you need to drive away from the city, but it's absolutely free, and it happens, for the most part, it happens every year. So meteor showers, in a nutshell, have completely shifted how I view things in life, because I find myself wanting to plan trips around these beautiful events. And if you get the chance to share it with someone else, like everything that I was saying, just multiply that by like 2, or the amount of people that are there. Because being there with a group of people sharing that same excitement and hearing all the oohs and ahs, it's just it's gonna be extremely difficult or impossible to have a crappy night and to remain like in a bad mood after watching something like that. So to kind of tie everything, wrap everything up with a bow and tie, please, if you get a chance, watch a meteor shower, specifically the Perseids or the Geminids. So in August or December, because they are arguably one of the best shows of the entire year. So here's your sign. If you ever want to do something cool, or you want to try something new, plan yourself a trip around next August, or if you want, plan a trip around December to go camping. And yeah, it's going to be one of the coolest things.
Do you ever wonder if certain astronomical events are like cosmically entwined with us as individuals? Like meteor showers speak to you as a person, and they connect with you maybe perhaps more than any other astronomical event, right? Like that's your thing. Like, do you think everybody's got something to that effect where it's like we identify with certain, maybe spiritually or something like that? I don't know. Like cosmically, I don't have a good word for it, but like, do we think we have like unique events that we connect with more than others?
Man, that's a good question. I'd never thought about it until now, but knowing what I know now and thinking back on my experiences with meteor showers, I'd say yes. And this thing has to be tied to me personally in so many ways. In fact, I'd argue that meteor showers have completely shifted how I do live streams on TikTok, which also was the result of like my account blowing up. And to kind of provide a little more clarity on that, for those of you guys listening that don't know, I do a lot of live streams on TikTok where I actually show the night skies through a night vision camera. So I call these backyard stargazing streams. And during meteor showers, I'll either hang out in my backyard or I'll drive somewhere dark to basically share the shower real time with strangers from all over the world. And before I did this, I was just streaming the moon, which is still really cool. But I think the moment I introduced night vision and stargazing to the streams, it was like, this is a whole other tool that I just had or didn't know I had. And it's completely been the culprit of really taking me to space, skyrocketing my account, and then me just as a person, because I just don't remember the last time I was really excited about anything in life. And this, and not just sound like kind of like a downer, But cool things happen, periodically. But then meteor showers, like something that goes from I just felt like it just sprinkled so much joy into my life, and the fact that I could share this with other people, it was yeah, in ways, I think it was almost like the universe was like, hey man, I think you're trying to find something else that you want to share with the world. How about meteor showers? It was always there. I just didn't know. And whenever I found out, I told myself like, I am not going to miss a meteor shower ever. And the only time I will miss one is because of bad forecast.
Mm-hmm.
Great question.
Oh, dude, great answer. Yeah, it's I love that part you said at the end there. They were always there. You just didn't know it. How true is that about every other passion that we've ever discovered in our lives? Which I think is what's proof to how you don't, like, you can be any age and discover your life passion. You can be on your deathbed and still discover something amazing that you want to enjoy, right? Like and it's always been there. It's just maybe it was not the right time. But like, I think a lot of us get hung up on finding that thing we're supposed to enjoy while we're young. I didn't start playing piano like that person started at 3 years old, and I'm never going to be a prodigy or whatever. Like, it's always, but piano's always there. You just didn't know it. Like, you didn't know what it would take or whatever it is. Like meteor showers, they're always there. You just didn't know it was happening. So I think it's, I do think there is some sort of influence, perhaps external, that, allows us to have the space to discover those things in due time. And I don't know what that is necessarily, but it certainly makes life beautiful,
Sounds a little woo-woo.
Maybe a little woo-woo, maybe a little bit. I think there's a little woo-woo in there.
What an inspiring thing to think about, especially what you said about people just discovering hobbies really late. Think about from right now, right? September 4th, 10 p.m. Central, until whenever the time for us to pass away is. Think of how many things that we probably wouldn't get to experience. Think about how many artists or bands that you probably would think it's the number one best artist or music in the entire world, but you may not even get to experience it simply just because you didn't get a chance to hear it. Or there's a certain food that you won't ever get to try that honestly, whatever food you think is your favorite, there's actually something that's 10 times more better, and you don't even know about it. Think
There's
about all this.
There's a better chicken sandwich out there.
The darkest meat. It's black, but not burnt. And it's just filled with juice, chicken juice.
Yeah, buddy. Oh, man.
Yeah. And it's like, it's inspiring. And it's also, I guess for me, it's like bittersweet. It's kind of sad in a sense that I know that there's going to be things that I don't get to try before I, leave this planet. But at the same time, on the bright side, that tells me, hey, maybe don't be so close to trying things. Maybe if you've never watched a meteor shower before and this guy won't shut up about it, maybe it's a sign to actually go do it. Maybe if you've never liked chicken sandwiches or dark meat, maybe it's your time to try it. So I hope that message resonates with some of you guys out there.
Oh, that's so good, dude. Dude, thanks for sharing your heart around it and expressing your passion and connection with meteor showers, man. That's really cool.
Yeah, I wanted to share a side. Like when I talk about meteor showers, I think most people are kind of just like, okay, yeah, it's a meteor shower. He's just someone who's really passionate about it. He's speaking with a little bit of conviction. He likes it. I get it. But there's a part that I think most people don't get, and it's a reason why I won't stop talking about it, because it is not just a meteor shower. It is universe's way of providing an awesome 4th of July. But during August and December and January, and there's tons of these 4th of Julys sprinkled out, throughout the year. So, yeah, just watch it. That's all I'm saying. If you go out and you try it and you don't think it's great, that's fine. That's fair. You tried it. But if you have never done it, I promise you, most likely you're going to experience it. You're going to really love it. and then you're also going to be obsessed with it like me, and then you're going to try to tell all your friends about it. And that's kind of the goal, is to just get you guys to look up more during these showers.
You want it to spread like celestial wildfire.
Yes. Yes.
Ooh,
Exactly.
that's cool.
Dan needs spam. I do
Yeah,
need some spam.
You always need spam. Do you have like a ration or a reserve in your desk somewhere? Do you have like a drawer that's just a spam drawer?
Oh man, that would have been a cool time just to work on that prop of carrying a can of spam with me everywhere, just so I can pull it out for this joke.
Yeah,
But I
exactly.
no, I don't. I need one. I'll be
Dang.
ready next time.
Yeah, I say by next week, dude, you got to have it. You have to show us. I always wanted to have a mini fridge in my studio to do to have just Mountain Dew, like a Mountain Dew
Nice.
fridge. It's like
Is that your choice of drink? That's your go-to?
it's my favorite soda. Yeah,
Mm.
I was always love Mountain Dew.
Do you like Baja Blast?
I do enjoy Baja Blast. Yes, I
Nice.
think a lot of people are like religious zealots for Baja Blast. I wouldn't say I'm that into it. It's good, and I will order it, and it's fantastic. I think I still prefer original over it, but like I do like that Baja Blast is a Taco Bell exclusive, and or it was at least, and now they sell it in stores. But like
Sold
it's,
out.
yeah, but if I mix the two, it's even better. That's the secret.
The Baja Dew? What
The
do you
Baja
call
Dew.
that?
Yeah. Oh, I've got a name for it. So, if anybody out there has seen the show Futurama, have you seen Futurama, Tan?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know Slurm, the drink in the show?
Oh my God, Slurm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that in ages, dude.
Yeah.
Unlocked a core memory.
Oh, you bet I did.
That's so
yes.
funny.
So one of my favorite episodes is the Slurm Factory episode. I think it was season 1, episode 13. Might be like the last episode of the
Wow.
season. I don't remember. Like I have to look it up. Either way, they go to the Slurm Factory. It's like a Willy Wonka parody. So they like go to like
Slurm.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, but it's like Fry in the Slurm Factory.
That's so funny.
So there's this like green drink that Fry, the main character, drinks addictively. And when you go to Taco Bell and you get a Mountain Dew, if you have the opportunity to brew your own drink, you go into the store, you do it. You do about like 1/2 to 2/3 of regular Mountain Dew, and then the remainder Baja Blast, and it turns like nuclear green. You feel like you're being given a hefty dose of gamma radiation, and it's delicious. It's a really good hybrid. So fantastic. It's kind of best of both worlds, but yeah, I call it Slurm because it kind of looks like Slurm from Futurama. So that was one of my things I did with my college roommate. So still do it.
Slurm. Dude,
Slurm.
we got to get fried chicken and some Slurm, and then we'll do a podcast.
Oh,
How cool would that be?
yes.
What do you think, chat?
Kayla goes, can't go wrong with original. Oh my gosh, that's an inside joke. That's fantastic. It's Jim's Coleslaw Shack.
Huh?
There's a Star Wars parody where they make this fake restaurant called Jim's Coleslaw Shack, and there's like this whole moment in this parody of Star Wars where they're going on about ordering from a place that literally exclusively serves coleslaw. And this guy says, can't go wrong with original, like it's the best one. So we say it all the time.
Now I'm part of the joke. I get it now.
You get it now.
All ready for the next one.
Right. For those who are curious, that's Auralnauts Star Wars on YouTube. So if you want to look up Auralnauts, Auralnauts. So good. Sorry, I got a brain lapse there. Yeah.
Oops.
So chat, let us know what your thoughts are on meteor showers. Are you
Yeah.
excited to go see the next one? Which one are you going to plan a trip for? And I would, jump on Tan's words there and say, plan your next trip. And if the Geminids in December are your next best shot, you've got 4 months to plan an outing. Hopefully that's enough time to make sure you don't have plans. Like don't go hang out with your buddies. Don't go to Buffalo Wild Wings and eat some flats. Instead, you're gonna stay home and you're gonna watch some meteors all night, and it's gonna be a good time. So book those days. Look up when the Geminids are and make it happen.
Yeah. And, I'm not even sure. Like, I almost just want to start planning now on, like, what I'm going to be doing. But there's a good chance I'll probably end up going back to Northern California for, like, another retreat. Maybe. Not sure. But if you're listening and you want to go, or you're just interested in like what these retreats are like, or if you are a local and you're right down the street, come hang out. Just send me a message and let me know like, hey, I also live in NorCal. What's this all about? But yeah, guys, Geminids is going to be like the next Perseids. Like they are the runner-up, and in fact, I might even say that the Geminids, from what I remember, were better than the Perseids this year.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, which is really tough for me to say because I'm definitely team Perseids, but Geminids are up there.
You need to make some shirts, dude. Team Perseids.
Ooh, I like that. I like it a lot.
Dude, this is a crazy topic, and I've been wanting to talk about this with you for the longest time. So why not here on the podcast?
Okay.
It's
I'm
on
ready.
the topic of meteors. You know what I desperately want to do is I want to go meteor hunting for the meteorites.
That's a thing. You can.
Oh yeah, it's so a thing. Yeah, and I was like, dude, you and I should go hunting for meteorites. Would you ever do that?
Yeah, but like,
Yeah.
how does one start? Where does one look?
So I looked into it, and there's a couple ways you can go about it, and at least the two ways that I know of. There's probably some more, but here's one of the more difficult ways. So you know how sometimes you see footage on the internet going around of people's like Ring cameras on their door, and like they see a
Yeah.
big like fireball or something go through.
Oops.
There's websites that track those sightings. So if there's like a huge meteor, a bolide, or like a fireball level event, people will track when they saw them, what direction they were looking, and where they were, and they'll submit these sighting reports. Then, if you have enough data, you can triangulate from all these different perspectives
No way.
how high it was,
Bro.
what direction it was going, when did it fizzle out, how fast was it going. Certainly, if you have video, that's helpful. So at that point, you could then predict where it would land based on all that geographical data and that user submitted data. So some people go hunting for those fresh meteors and actually try to look for them, which I think is absolutely insane, but would probably be the coolest way to do it. Because you imagine like finding this like freshly dropped space rock, like it'd be insane.
Dude, that's gotta be valuable.
Right. And depending on what you find, I
Right?
bet there's like, I think when most meteors make it through, they don't come through the atmosphere that large. But like, imagine getting something like even like a little rock, like a golf ball size or something like that
Yeah,
would be a mind blowing find.
Sign me up. I'm down.
Dude, yes. So the other way, and I watched a video about this, and I'm not sure. I see Chris here in the chat. Did you ever see the documentary called Fireball: Microscopic Meteorites Everywhere? I don't know if this is. I haven't seen the
Whoa.
documentary, but I have watched a show where these guys go out to the salt flats out in Utah, Nevada, like somewhere out there.
Yeah.
So they go to the salt flats, which are dried up lake beds. Apparently, there are meteors from within the last couple hundred to maybe even thousands of years that land near there, or they break up over this lake bed, and they have these strewn about pieces all over these flats. So they'll go and walk around with a walking stick, like a pole that you just get like Walmart or something for like old people. But they duct tape a magnet to the end of it, because meteorites will be metallic in nature and thus they'll be magnetic, versus natural rocks on the ground will not be magnetic. So if you go tapping every rock, if one sticks, it's a meteorite.
Dude,
So
that's so gnarly.
and these guys I watched were like out there for days on end, just tapping rocks. They walked away with like bags full of meteorites. And their goal was to try to determine what was the meteor doing, like when it distributed these pieces. So did it land and then break on impact and scatter pieces about, or did it break up as it was falling and scatter pieces about? Like there's a couple different ways. So they were trying to see like what's the consistency and the material, and where is it, and how dense are the clusters of the meteorites that we're finding? Is there a big group here and a big group there? Because that might mean something different than if it was like all in a line. That kind of discovery was what they were looking for. But that felt so realistic to me. I'm like, that's way not. I'm not gonna say it's easier, but manageable. I feel like there's a higher rate of success if you were to do that. So like, I don't know, dude, would you ever do it? I I know you answered it, but I'm going to ask you again.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I am writing it. It's crazy to me that we can just use some math to figure out all this data. Like I think things like this are constant reminders that although we don't know everything, there's probably a lot we don't know. But the things that we do know are just absolutely incredible. And this is one of those examples that we can just look at some rocks, look at the formation, maybe look around the areas and say, hey, you know what? Based on this and this and this, we've come to the conclusion that this is probably where, whatever that is. Insane. And just the fact that we can actually do it. We can say that there are objects, little rocks from space that landed here, and then there's a chance for us to walk around with a stick with a magnet attached to the end of it, and we can acquire some of these little things. I'm in, bro.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I was at the Chicago Museum of Science and Industry this week, and I'd never been there. And they have a little space exhibit. It's not little, but they have a space exhibit, and they have a gift shop. So I went to the gift shop, and I'm like, what do they have? And at the counter, they were selling little cases with tiny little meteorite fragments that you can buy, and they weren't that expensive. It was like $12 or something for a tiny little shard. And I almost bought one, but I decided I don't want to own a meteorite until it's one that I've found. Like
You worked for it, man.
yeah, like I feel like I don't really want to own it because I mean, yeah, it's cool to own a space rock, but like, there's something to that adventure and the discovery and the kind of the treasure hunt, so to speak, that I feel like is so much cooler than purchasing it. But that's just me.
No, it's true. Like, imagine telling someone like, "Oh, hey, where'd you get that? Oh, I bought it at a shop. Oh, cool." Versus, "Hey, where'd you get that? I fucking found it in my backyard."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. It's it's much cooler. I mean, it's like imagine if you like bought a pre-built Lego. Like, is that as satisfying than as if you had built it?
Yeah.
You're gonna want to build a Lego. That's kind of the experience. Like,
Yeah.
that's kind of how I see it. And plus, like, imagine you could build this giant collection across your life of all these pieces that you find, and you can tell where you got them, and maybe even go so far as to find out the composition of them, like the molecular composition or the atomic composition. That'd be really cool. Do a science experiment on it because the research never ends, really.
Yeah.
Then you find out you got like a $1 million piece, and it's like, dang, let's freaking make some money.
I made it. And it's just a tiny little rock that changes your life.
Right. That was the thing, is these guys who were hunting on that show were putting up the monetary value of like how much all these things were. And I think they got, after a couple of days and a couple of bags, they said they got, if they were to sell it in an auction, it would be about $1,000 worth of material. Because I mean, like, meteorites are common. Obviously, it's not like you just walk out in your front yard, you're going to see a meteorite. Maybe you will, but like, you go hunting for them, they're around. You just have to be the one who's smart enough to know the difference between this rock and the next. But like, scientific auctions will purchase them for research, so like you can actually get money out of them. So you could make it a side hustle, a meteor side hustle, if you wanted to. And you could like help contribute to the science community as well, or you could just be a collector and keep all the ones that you've ever found.
Dude, speaking of meteors, did you hear about that asteroid that touched down in the Philippines just today?
No. What?
Yeah, dude, check this out. So
Okay.
It was the European Space Agency. A friend of mine shared this tweet with me. Let me just type in. I don't know the name of it. Okay, asteroid Philippines. Yeah, there's actually footage of it. You can see this huge fireball like just lighting up the entire sky. But yeah, there's an asteroid. Okay, tiny asteroid burns up over Philippines, discovered this morning.
Dang.
Yeah, you guys gotta check out this footage. It's absolutely insane. But I'm gonna read this real quick. So the asteroid known as 2024 RW1 was discovered today by research technologist Jacqueline Faiscas. I probably butchered that. With the NASA-funded Catalina Sky Survey, a NASA-funded observatory near Tucson, Arizona, dedicated to tracking and cataloging near-Earth objects. Really cool. It was only the 9th asteroid that has been spotted prior to impact, ESA wrote. That's crazy, dude. Yeah.
Well, the fact that they're classifying it as an asteroid is what's interesting to me because, you know,
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
it, because like meteors, like we see them, they're meteoroids when they're in space, and they become meteorites when they're in the atmosphere and they're on the ground. So it's like, if they're going so far as to say it's an asteroid, it's not a meteoroid. Like it must be large enough to.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah. So the European Space Agency, I completely forgot to mention that. So I'm glad you mentioned it. It was about 3 feet, so about a meter
Oh,
asteroid.
dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like that's just imagine just like a huge little boulder coming down. So cool, man.
Yeah. Do you know about the Chelyabinsk one from 2013 over Russia?
I remember seeing dash cam footage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I wish
that's
that would
wild.
happen to me, man. I need to see something like that.
And that one like blew office windows off the sills
It
and
was
like
insane.
garage doors off because it exploded in atmosphere, and it just like it created this like sonic boom level effect. You know, that's just it had to have been crazy to experience.
We need to see that, dude.
Yes.
That honestly is for me would be life changing to experience something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just hope it's not too big.
What the dinosaur saw.
Right. Yeah, none of that.
Ooh, look. It's still going. It's coming right towards us. I should probably text my family and tell them I love them.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's the fastest text of your life.
Eat some chicken real quick.
Yeah, yeah, right.
One last flat.
One more dark meat bite. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, when I was at Kennedy Space Center last year, 2 years ago, saw a IMAX movie there at the visitor complex. It was great. And it was this movie about asteroid redirecting. So like trying to stop a giant asteroid from like colliding with Earth, like from like a
Wow.
cataclysmic event, dinosaur
Yeah.
level extinction event. And it was beautiful documentary. You know, it's in 3D and IMAX, huge screen. You got the glasses on. It's super fun. And Daisy Ridley from Star Wars narrated it, which was super cool. And she kind of was like explaining how there's all these different scenarios where we could technically prevent asteroids from colliding. So like an asteroid redirect mission, which we technically got to pioneer. And what the heck was that mission named? It just happened like a year or two ago. NASA collided a probe with an asteroid to see
I
if
remember
the
that.
impact would like skew
Yeah.
its trajectory enough to go out of the way, and it worked. So you remember that? You do remember seeing that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they talk about that in this documentary. They kind of do these like dramatized simulations where they have all these like mission control centers, and they're like all they got the headsets, and they're all trying to plan and do all the math on whiteboards, and how can we like redirect this giant simulated asteroid and push it out of the way? Can we nuke it? What would the best way to do it? Should we blow it up? Should we put a rocket on it and push it out of the way? Should we slam into it? Like super interesting. But they also, and this is why I bring it up, they did a simulation for what would happen if like a city-sized asteroid hit Earth. Oof. And they did a visualization of a city and what would happen. Like if it hit like just outside of the city, like first, you know, it's like the sound wave, then it's the vibrations, and you know, you're talking like every window and every building in the city would be blown out. And then like the shock wave would like level the buildings. They kind of went into the depth about that, and it is such a cool documentary. So if you actually go to Kennedy Space Center, watch that for sure. Because I mean, these like little 3 foot or what is it, 3 meter, 1 meter, 3 foot asteroids that are hitting, like not too big a deal. They put on a show, but like if we had like a city size asteroid, we'd pretty much be doomed. And hopefully we would see that coming, you know?
That's just crazy that that's something that we can plan to, or at least try to prevent. You know, like that's one of the measures we take is sending stuff out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, straight out of a sci-fi movie, really.
Yeah, dude, for real. Well, yeah, you wonder. Okay, speaking of that, have you ever watched For All Mankind?
I have not.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, For All Mankind is a TV show, a space TV show, a fictional show on Apple TV Plus. Fantastic show. Season 4 ended earlier this year, and it's season 5 is being shot right now. Fantastic, and there's a spin-off show coming. But one of the premises in season 4 is that there's colonization on Mars, and there's an asteroid coming into Mars orbit, and they realize it's made of a certain material that's like worth trillions of dollars on Earth. So it kind of becomes this like, who should get this asteroid? Should it go to Mars or should it go to Earth? Like, because the plan was like to capture it and to bring it back to Earth so they can mine it and make a ton of money off of it. But if an asteroid like that is worth trillions of dollars, you're going to upset the entire world economy if you just like inject all this money into it, and all this material. Like, I can't remember what the material was in the show, but like there's a really great fictional story in that program about, you know, capturing asteroids, what to do with it, and then just the materials the asteroids can be made of and how much value they can have. Because I think that's going to be a viable industry in the future, is actually going out and mining for metals and precious metals and things like that, like gold and I don't know, like iridium and stuff like that. I think there's going to be a pretty big market for that, and it'll be a big economy upset for sure, because you might find this deposit that's like more than Earth ever has of something, you know.
That's such a us thing to do, is just to try to find something and then just sell it.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally going to be on like the TikTok shop. You know, people are selling little bits of just whatever. You know what I mean?
That's funny.
We're all going to be fighting over for it.
In the show, well, I guess it wasn't the meteor, but one of the guys or one of the characters starts selling Mars rocks back on Earth, and he's not supposed to. He starts like illegally shipping them back, but they start selling them as jewelry and making like a profit on it.
Oh, that's so funny.
And which is, I think, it's such an interesting concept, and you brought that up too. You know,
They're going to find a million ways to market it. Like, and we're also going to find plenty of reasons to purchase it, just because that's just the way we are. We sell things, and we also always want things.
True.
And sometimes we need them too. But I wonder what kind of like what elements make it up, and like what kind of, like, how resourceful is it going to be in terms of like, is this going to like help fuel like vehicles? Is this going to help us I don't know, create some kind of like energy? Or if it's just going to be like a diamond kind of thing, like it's just worth this much because it's rare.
Mm-hmm. Right. And each of those has its importance.
Yeah.
One, you know, but yeah, like you could find an asteroid that's got a crater underneath it that never faces the sun, and it's just filled with water ice. That's both drinking water and hydrogen fuel, and breathing oxygen. That's super valuable, especially if you're like on Mars or something, or in Ganymede.
Yeah.
Like that might be more valuable than if it was made entirely out of diamond, you know, because it's like, you know, with like those precious metals and ores and things like that, like it's only valuable because someone says it has value, right? Like gold has a practical use, though. It's a conductor, but like, you know, at the same point, like it's got value because someone just says it has value. Otherwise, like if the world is like apocalyptic, if you have a gold brick, it's not going to do anything. Water and food are going to be the most expensive things, you know, instantly.
Yeah. You know what? I never thought about that. Like, what makes precious metals, and this is probably going to sound silly, but like, yeah, why is gold worth what it is? Other than
it's probably just because of its nature and its color is probably ultimately what led to it.
Because it looks cool.
It's a beautiful metal when, you know, refined. But I also think in the modern age, the conductivity and the use for it in electronics and stuff is like pretty big deal. But yeah, I mean, it just makes your jewelry look nicer, probably.
I'm getting rid of all my gold, man. I realize it's pointless. It's shiny. Yeah, that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't understand why we give that price. But that could be said for a lot of things that are probably overpriced now.
Right.
Just like those tumblers, you know, the Starbucks tumblers or the Hello Kitty, whatever. Like we're just
Stanleys.
Yeah, dude. I don't understand this sometimes.
I don't either. But it's like gold is like the ultimate trend. You know, it's like all those things that you're describing. They're popular because they're trendy. But it's like gold is like it's like a permanent trend. You know.
Do you think gold will ever lose its value?
I think maybe like the scenario I kind of jokingly submitted, which was like, you know, if it's an apocalyptic mode, like if you're bartering for survival resources, a gold brick doesn't do any good for you if you're starving or thirsty. Like you're gonna want clean water and healthy food, and that's non-perishable or something like that. Like
Yeah.
way more. Like if it came down to I'm not gonna live another day, what's the point in having a gold brick in your hand or a gold necklace or something like
Yeah.
that? You're just gonna die with something shiny in your hand.
That's crazy to think about. I'm picturing like a post apocalyptic environment, and I'm picturing like this really affluent area or family, tons of like jewelry and just everything's nice and jewelry everywhere, gold everywhere. And then but they're starving. They are like on the brink of death because they just don't have anything. Versus the poor family, just all in scraps. Like really dirty looking, really grungy, but they know how to hunt. They have food and they know how to find water.
Yeah. Yep. And they make a
Wow.
dang good chicken sandwich.
Dark meat only, only the flats.
Yeah.
Whew, that's
Yep.
yeah.
The real commodity.
Mm-hmm.
Dark meat and chicken sandwiches. Oh my God. Yeah. It's crazy. And yeah, I think that it would probably take that level of an event. I think gold would be otherwise, so long as civilized culture still exists, I think it will always have some level of value. 'Cause people just like the shine. I mean, look at diamonds. Like they are beautiful. They're no doubt beautiful, but you know how expensive a tiny little diamond is? Like where like an 1/8 carat is like it's pretty expensive. Like it's not like it's like a grain of sand. It's like worth nothing. But it's expensive because we say it is. Otherwise,
You might stir the pot here, man.
I think I am.
There's going to be a lot of people. And, yeah, diamonds are interesting, but yeah, I don't know.
I think there's an asteroid out there that's made entirely of diamond. We just have yet to find it.
Maybe it was one in the Philippines.
Oh
that just touched down.
no!
We need to go.
Oh, now we're gonna go to we have to go to the ocean probably, right? Did it like land in the ocean?
Something like that.
Yep. Well, I'm in. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Forget the salt flats. I'm going to the.
We're going to the
Oceania.
Philippines, baby.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Well, what do you think, man? Should we swing round third for home here? Or do you have anything else you want to talk about?
I think I'll save my energy for next week's episode because we have something that next week's episode, guys, is going to be exciting. I don't know how much I'm allowed to say, but just know it's going to be really cool.
Well, I'd be happy to pull up the graphic for the episode next week. So if you want to talk about it, by all means.
Yeah, maybe just briefly. We're going to talk about the importance of dark skies. Not just for stargazing, but how it affects us as in humans, the wildlife, just the planet itself. And Don Ficken here is in my astronomy club, and he is just he's got so many titles. I don't even know where to start, but let's just say he knows a thing or two about dark skies. So if you guys are interested, please tune in next Monday, 9 p.m. Central, for the special guest. And I am just really excited to get inside the brain of someone who's a true vampire. Let's just say that.
A true vampire. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to meet Don. Like you've been talking about him for a long time, and we've booked him, and he's going to come in and share his wealth of knowledge, and like I'm at the mercy of his wisdom.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It'll be fun, guys.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Cool. So yeah, you guys mark your calendars, set your notifications, do what you need to do to make sure you're here for next week's episode of the Galactic Window Space Podcast. We'll be returning to our normal, regularly scheduled time slot of Monday nights at 9 p.m. Central Time. So these past 2 weeks have been oddballs where we've done it on Wednesdays, but we're going back to Mondays. And from then on, we'll always be that time unless we kind of state otherwise. So be sure to subscribe to the Orbital Alliance here on YouTube. Hit the notification bell so you get notified when we go live. and that's will be where you can watch any live stream we show here of the Galactic Window Space podcast. You can also find our podcast on YouTube Music. And again, we're still working on trying to get that to the other popular platforms so you can listen to it wherever you want. And as a reminder, be sure to go back and watch past episodes of the show. We've got now a growing arc. Do it. Little Shia LaBeouf. Do it. Always be sure to go back and watch previous episodes because we now have an ever-growing archive of really great conversations with some very cool spacey people. Like we said earlier in the show, this is episode 14, so 13 other episodes, most of which have guests, and you're sure to learn something about space and be enlightened about how you can experience it too. So be sure to go and do that. Yeah. So, Tan, anything? What are you thinking?
Just one last thank you to the chat here. I see there's a good chunk of you guys in here sticking it through with us. As always, we appreciate your support. And one of the best ways you can support us more is to simply like the video, subscribe, and maybe share it with someone that you think might be interested in this. I think word of mouth is probably the easiest way to get this out. We're not marketing experts, and I'm not famous enough to try to funnel my 1 million followers on TikTok over here. You would think it would be that easy, but unfortunately, I think word of mouth is still king. So if you want to support us, show the channel some love and then share it with someone who you think would also benefit from watching or listening to this. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, agreed. And I would tack on one final charge here. If you did learn something from tonight's episode, please drop it in a comment on the video on YouTube. That would be amazing if you could do that, because I want to know what it is about our episodes that stick to you guys. Like, what is making it through? Obviously, we talk about a lot of things, and do that on other episodes too. Like, if you watch episode 11, you go back and you're like, man, I love what you said about this, or what episode 12, I love what they said about that. Drop it in the comment section because it gives us good feedback and helps us to know like what sort of things you guys are connecting with. So that'd be appreciated. Yep. Cool. Yes. So thank you everybody in the chat. Good to see everyone here. Thanks for our friends who stuck it out. We had a fair few stick it out for the whole time.
Yeah, you guys are awesome.
Good. And let us know, what did you think of the game? What did you guys like the game? When we did Lightspeed, was that a good time?
You know what? Whether they like it or not, I think we should always implement these little fun games. In fact, maybe we can even do them more periodically throughout the show too.
Agreed. Yes, I'm here for it. We'll make it happen.
Sweet.
Cool. All right, Tan, do you want to say your goodbyes?
Lightspeed was great. Thank you so much. Yeah, guys, thank you so much again for hanging out, for listening. And yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got. I'll see you guys next week.
Cool. See you all on the other side.